Hi, Lori here with the Goodbye Good Girl Project. I don't believe in your limitations, and you shouldn't either. All those things that you think you can't do and that you're not doing, they're actually programming. Look at this gorgeous tree. Isn't that insane? Isn't that beautiful? Wow. All of those things that you think are your limitations are actually programming. And it's put in place. It's put in place outside of you, and then it's installed inside of you. When you're very, very young and you have no say in the matter, it's just part of the game. It's not a really fun game, though, and so I've spent a lot of time coming out of the game, being able to see the game, so I can make different choices and make different moves. Because that's really the deal. You know, we're all on the same chessboard, but you can decide to jump off the chessboard at any moment. Now, you're going to come back because that's where you are, but it's as if you are risen a little higher off the board. You can see more. You can look below you and go, oh, that's what that's about? I don't like that. I'm going to do it differently. And then you've got some freedom in your actions and your choices and your attitudes. It's really awesome. Really, really awesome. Whew. So anyway, that's what the Goodbye Good Girl Project is about. It's about how do you come out of just believing in the game. I tend to call it the patriarchal castle because it's a set of rules that exempt the feminine for everybody, whether you're a woman or a man. It exempts all of that. And that's not good. And I'll tell you why it's not good. You are mind and emotion, masculine and feminine. You are both. That's the full human experience. Masculine and feminine, mental and emotional. But we've been enshrined, if you will, in the tower of the patriarchal castle and told that this is the only castle there is the one where we think things. So we can say, I feel fine. I believe this. I'm aligned with that truth. But then we find that our experience is that we're doing something different than that, and we start blaming ourselves. And we start going, wait a second, something must be wrong with me. I have to fix me. Nothing is wrong with you. Nope. What's wrong is the rules that you're living by. And that's not your fault. But it is your opportunity to take a look and to go, there's a different way to do this, really? I can live my life in such a way that all the patriarchal shoulds and the shoulds from childhood and the shoulds from adulthood and all of that is irrelevant. I can live beyond it. I can live above it and see it for what it is. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. The system itself doesn't want you to see that. Of course not. You see, the system is based on you believing that you are powerless. That's what it's based on. That's its entire thesis, and it poses it not as a thesis, but as a truth with a capital T. And because we get this rule when we are very, very tiny and truly powerless, we, at least in a physical sense, we buy it, and then we craft our lives on it. At first, because we need to survive. Don't put your hand on the hot stove. Don't cross against the light, right? Make sure you eat, or you're going to die. Like, we have these basic needs. And we feel them, and we go, this is good, it's working, I'm alive. That's when we're very, very, very little. And then we start to grow. And because everybody else is around us is in the same situation we're in, where they didn't ask either. They didn't go, is this the only game? Or is there another way? Hey, Prosper. Thanks. How are ya? I'm out walking so I can try to get grounded today. It's been a rough one. Just had a lot going on physically, and taking a walk in the beautiful weather. Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. That's awesome. I'm good too. I'm just working through some of my own patriarchal loops, is what I call them. Okie dokie. So here we are. We're little people. And we go, here, what are the rules of the road in this new environment? Oh, don't put my hand on the stove. Listen to the people who know better than me, who've been here longer than me. Okay, got it. But then we grow up. Thank you. Then we grow up. And we keep using the same rules as if we were still without clothing. As if we were still little teeny tiny babies. Because nobody's given us another way to do it. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. And then what happens is we keep going and going and going. And we get exhausted. And we get like this tree. Check that out. We fall apart. Look at that gorgeous tree. That's you. And that's me. And we keep trying to carry the weight of, here's how I do life. But we're carrying it in our head. We're following the rules. And that's a problem. It can't carry all of that weight all by itself and let you have a life that is truly full, truly fulfilled, truly happy. What do you need in order to have that life that you're looking for? What do you need? You need your emotional body. You need your emotions. You need to know how the hell you feel. Do you know why I'm saying that? I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who was telling me all about some guy who was saying to her, let's go to a movie theater and I'll stick my tongue down your throat and my hand down your shirt and you can kiss me. The guy's married, has been for decades, and he's an idiot. So, she's telling me how proud she is of herself, which she should be, that she was like, yeah, no, let's not do that. Let's do something else. Because at one point in her life, as for most women, overwhelming majority of us, trained the way we've been trained, socially, would have been like, how can I be polite? How can I worry more about letting the guy down easy than I am with protecting myself, knowing if this is working alongside my nervous system or not. And I'm glad for her. Growth is great. Growth is great. But it helped me identify something that we do. We try to get inside the perpetrator's perspective to see if we're okay, to see if we're doing it right, if we're making mistakes, if we're being too much. But it's all according to the perpetrator. It's all according to the outside. It's all according to our fear. And what's happened is we've let ourselves out of the room. We've walked all the way out of the room. And we've installed somebody else's, our understanding of somebody else's perspective. Which means you've just given away your power. Ashes, hi honey. You don't want to give away your power. Come on. You don't want to give it away. You want to be the kind of person, the kind of woman who can look at a situation that looks untenable and you can go, give me a second. Let me look at this. Let me take a minute, calm myself and see if I can feel, receive an idea, an intuitive hint, a moment of something that shows me where an exit door is, because there is always an exit door. Now, I know when I say that, you're going to think, well, there isn't if you're getting murdered or something. You know, I get it. But let's talk about it. Because most of the time, that's not what's happening. Most of the time, what's happening is your spirit's getting unalived. Your power, your sense of self, your ability to stand up for yourself, your ability to feel good about you, generally, instead of generally feeling crap about yourself, which is what the world teaches us to do. It teaches us to feel crap about ourselves. You know this is true. Now, the other thing it teaches is that feeling of crapness about yourself is your fault. Oh, it's your issues. Oh, it's your problems. Oh. No, it isn't. It's the very message itself. It's that very message itself that says you're the problem, instead of something is here that's systemic, that has burrowed its way into your source believed code, and you're living by it without knowing it. Once you know it, once you see it, once you experience it, you have just taken the game into your own hands and decided what it's going to be looking like and how it's going to be played. And that's empowerment on steroids. And I'm talking to you as somebody who used to be the most disempowered person. Seriously. I've come so far. You can go far. We all can go far. But the patriarchal castle's rule is you are powerless. Nah, I can't do it. No, I can try really hard. See, I tried in the past and it never worked. So see, that's my proof. It'll never work. It's just me. No. It's that you're still playing by the patriarchal rules, and you need a damn revolution inside of you, in your mind and in your emotions, your emotional awareness. You do not have to fix yourself. You do not have to should on yourself. You can feel all those feelings because we have them. We have them. But what's really, really, really powerful is when you can look at them, feel them, be with them, and see what they really are. Feel them not as an indictment of you, but as a vibrational frequency, as an experience. And the way you do that without falling down and going, oh my God, what am I doing? Well, that's where the mind comes in. You've got to understand why you can do that, why you should do that, and why it's helpful as hell. But until you understand that, the basis is your energy first. You're still going to argue with yourself all the time. You're still going to tell yourself that you're wrong. You're still going to tell yourself that you don't know where you're going, that you don't know what you're doing, that you're not capable. And oh my God, there's never been anything more capable than a human being. Truly. But we've been robbed of that knowledge. So we're taking it back. And my teaching is, don't believe in your limitations because they're not even yours. They're not even yours. They've been programmed, taught, reinforced every day of your life. Not by evil people wanting to hold you down. This is the game we're in. But this is also the time in human history when we're in an evolutionary shift. This is the time we change it. Can you see the old game changing? Can you see it dying? Of course you can. It's dying. It's having an absolute fit doing it, but it's doing it. Let me find a place to sit down so I'm not gasping for air. Okay, here we go. Oh my God. So, what is it that you wish that you were doing? Who is it you wish you were? I mean, I was always kind of a badass in my mind. The way I spoke was like, I knew what was up. I wouldn't put up with that kind of behavior. I wouldn't do that. And then you know what I did? I put up with that behavior. I did that. Right? If you're being honest, you resonate with that. You know this to be a truth. And then we make up shit about it. Oh, it's human condition. Oh, it's my issues. Sorry, unknown at the moment. I'm not taking guests, but if you let me know what you'd like to talk about, I could think about that. Just because I don't know you yet. You're both mental and emotional, and you're living by your mental. And you're shooting with your mind on your emotions, and therefore you are crippled. You're crippled. We're all crippled. So what we have to do is grow those legs. We have to grow those legs of our emotions. Hi, Aria. We have to grow our legs, and our legs are our emotions, our bodies, our self-awareness, and our protection of ourselves from a place of knowing our worth instead of trying to prove our worth all the time. The person who needs to be proved to is you. You, we need to prove to ourselves. Hi, Arya. We need to prove to ourselves in an experiential way, not in another mental way. Oh, I'm going to think this way. I'm going to think this way. That's great. Lovely. Think that way. But you'd better feel that way at the same time, to some degree. And that's where we measure how we're doing. How close am I? How close do I feel? How resonant do I feel to that thing I'm saying that I know is true, but I also know I don't do? Because that's what happens, right? We go, I know that I shouldn't be doing this kind of relationship, and then we go and we do that kind of relationship again. Right? Thanks for the follow, Arya. Oh, would you guys please share this out for me? I would so appreciate it. And thank you for the hearts. If you keep that up, that'll push me out to the FYP, and that's cool. Thank you. Aren't they fun? I love glass frames. I love glasses frames. And I was really shocked to find these at Lens Crafters. Because Lens Crafters just seems pretty straight to me, you know, pretty like locked in. And I went there, and on a whim, I said, so what's your craziest pair of glasses? And they brought out these. I went, are you serious? I'll take them. Thanks, Gail. Thank you, Arya. My name's Lori. I'm with a company called the Goodbye Good Girl Project. Because the point, sorry about the beeping, the point is for us to not believe in our limitations, but not just willy-nilly, not just with, I'm not going to believe in that anymore, I'm going to be a maverick. No, you can't believe in them for a very specific and reasonable reason. They're not yours. The things that we think are our limitations really come from a system that we've come up in that is so much a part of our reality that we don't see it. We don't see it naturally. And when we do catch a whiff of it, when we do go, oh, look at that patriarchal nonsense, that's bull. That's not it. That's wrong. And we're very right. But we're in a patriarchal loop at that point. We're not understanding that part of the patriarchal loop is that fighting is the only option. That patriarchal nonsense, I'm not down with it, that's wrong, I hate it, I won't be a part of it. And then we're a part of it. What's going on? What's happening? What is going on? I don't get it. How can I not be part of the patriarchal loop? I'm in the same world everybody else is in. What are you talking about? Fair questions, right? The deal is this. If you were in Star Trek and your prime directive was be powerless, whatever you do, however much effort you make, be powerless. In the end of it, at the end of the day, even if you've made strides forward, you are going to ultimately not reach the place that you're meant to reach or want to reach. Then you're going to do all kinds of things to, quote, self-sabotage. But the self-sabotage is not because of your wounding. It's not because of your issues. There's something pulled down over your eyes. And it lives within your emotional body, but you need both your emotions and your mind to see it and to start your jailbreak. And you know what? It's not like a final jailbreak. It's like you jailbreak every day as you wish. This changes the game. This changes the game from I have to work my bloody butt off to maybe get somewhere. That's one game. It's a horrible game. It's set up to kill you. Or you can change it to the game of, I'm going to win every day. I'm going to win games every day, and I'm going to understand, finally, in my body, in reality, in totality, as a base, as a setup for me to keep deepening my knowing in and my experience in, that I truly am in the world, but not of it. This is not a biblical talk. I'm non-religious Jewish. I'm metaphysical, metaphorical. I'm about physics and astrology. I can't even talk. I get so excited. And I talk on Sundays about how the Bible, the Kabbalah, the Quran, all of it, they're all misinterpreted and shoved down our throats as part of that patriarchal overlay that then we measure ourselves against without even knowing we're doing it. So how important is it to know that it's there? It's everything. It's your freaking oxygen. This is called putting on your oxygen mask, my friends. This really, really is. It's not the only way to put on your oxygen mask, but it's a powerful one. It's a powerful one. My proof is me. In 2022, I was in my 40th year of clinical depression. And I was going down fast in my third nervous breakdown. And it was like 2:30 in the morning. I'd already been to the ER. I'd already done all the adjustment of meds and everything else because I'd been on antidepressants since 1980 something. But it hadn't cured me. Do you know what I mean? Like thank God it was there to keep me going, because you've got to use what's at your disposal to keep you going so you can keep looking for the damn door out of the stupid game and start building your own. Thank God for it. In the middle of that night, as I gave up, I don't mean that I hurt myself. I did not. But as I went, I got nothing. I don't have the wine. I don't have the food to like dull the whole situation. I don't have the people to call. It's 2:30 in the morning. I got nothing, and I felt myself falling. And what fell into my head was a suggestion that I took that went straight against my belief, my set point of you are ultimately powerless. I believe, as an extension of you are utterly powerless, I can't heal my depression. That's a reasonable extension of that sort of situation, isn't it? Ultimately, you're always powerless. If that's the rule, the emotional set point by which you've been hijacked, then you're going to think you have limitations when you don't. You don't. You're holding limitation, but you are not limitation itself. And that is a tiny but enormous distinction. It is something to want to understand. It is something to want to expand one's consciousness around. And it is something to not make yourself wrong if you don't get it in 5 seconds, because we've only been living with this patriarchal overlay for 26,000 years. So if it takes a few minutes, is that okay? Brenda, that's awesome. Thank you. You believe that? The next step is to experience that. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. All of us who are into spiritual stuff and personal growth, we're like, I believe that, I know that. And that's not enough. The time is over for that. You've already done all the mental development work in that respect that you need to do. Now the kind of mental development you need to do is to apply it to the things you think are impossible for you to experience. You need to say, you know, I believe XYZ, but I'm living ABC. And I'm really interested in living XYZ because ABC is not so comfortable. So I'm really, really interested in getting over to XYZ, and I see the gap. I see it. Now, what the patriarchal rules will tell you, the patriarchal loop, I call it, is that you should now instantly despair because you don't have the answer right now. And so you do. This is pernicious kind of programming, and I'm here to show you how it is at play and to suggest to you how you can interrupt it. So you can start to reset your system. You can start to reclaim your life, the quality of your life. I am not talking about stuff like I want a boat and I want the best lover. You may get all of that in the passage of time as you just this. You may. But that's not the point. The point is how freaking miserable are you right now? How miserable are you? And how happy would you like to be? And how much are you willing to acknowledge that everything you have tried has not worked? And how much room Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get up and walk, then it won't be so loud. How much room will you give yourself? Thank you, Luchecita. Thank you. How much room will you give yourself to say that there's a possibility that there could be something else here? There could be another game at play, another set of possibilities that could also come in and replace the ones you don't like. Are you willing to, are you miserable enough to say, I'm willing to entertain that possibility? Are you miserable enough to go, hey, I've tried and I've tried and I've tried. And I'm sick of blaming myself because that's not getting me anywhere either. Do you want forward progress? Do you want forward movement? Do you want it more than you want to be right about why you should be miserable? The patriarchal shield, it wants you to fail at the thing you want the most, which is your freedom. That's what it wants. So how do you interrupt this? You recognize it, first of all. You recognize that this thing, this thought, this feeling you're having is very, very self-limiting and negative, and it makes you feel bad. That's all you have to do. It feels bad. Okay, let me look at that. Let me look at this thing that feels bad, and let me see if that aligns with this idea that I'm not supposed to be happy, I'm not supposed to win. And if it does, what do you have to do now? Because you've just taken the biggest step ever. You've named the thief in the room. You've named the thief in your room. The thief that's been in there, God, your whole life. Your whole life. And you've named it. Now, what do you do with it? You bring in the superhero. You bring in a different emotion. You don't push out the thief. It's there. You can't push it out. But if you bring in another person to the party, a little tiny feeling of something different, remember that time when I was a little bit more powerful. Remember that time. Remember how it feels when I say that I think that particular bad behavior is nonsense. That makes me feel stronger. Be aware of your feelings. Be aware of your feelings. Be aware of your feelings, because the biggest thing the thief has taken from you is your feeling that you have a right to feel. Claim it back. You know why it took it from you? It's the most powerful force on the planet. No lie. Why is it the most powerful force on the planet, Lori? Because it's energy. We're made of energy, you and me. We're made of atoms and molecules and all of these things, right? We're made of all that on this planet of stuff, physical stuff. And what are those atoms and molecules made of? Well, it's not like you can pick them up off the grass. They're made of energy. And if they are made of energy, my friend, so are you. So that's our source code, all right? That's our source code. And we are consistently looking through this veil, this patriarchal veil that says, you're not allowed to have that. That's bad. That's female and weak, as if the two were the same, which, oh my God, that's the biggest brainwashing ever. The feminine is the most powerful force on the planet. It is. There's a woman that I have known for many, many years named Amachi. They call her the hugging saint. And somebody asked her, Amma, is God more male or female? And she didn't want to answer. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, baby. She didn't want to answer for her own reasons. And then finally, she said, God is 1% more female than male. And I thought about that for years, and I realized, you know what? That has to be the case. Because you cannot do until you be. You have to be born before you can act. You have to have an idea before you can execute the idea. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Of course God is 1% more female than male. Does that exempt the male? Maybe in the man's mind. Because the setup, the patriarchal shroud over our faces, has been, isn't that awesome? Carrie, thank you for putting that in there. I love knowing if something is landed. Thank you. Yeah. You have to be born before you can do anything. And that goes for your consciousness. Yep. So, what needs to be born? What needs to happen for us to change our lives is something that's so, so close to us that they have orchestrated, they meaning our human collective, and the evolutionary phase we're now just beginning to come out of. And it was, don't pay no attention to the feminine behind the curtain. Pay no attention. And then, when you kept looking, it went, oh, but if you look, you're really going to get screwed. Nobody's going to love you. Nobody's going to take care of you. You're going to die. You're evil. They did it socially, religiously, spiritually, the whole thing. And we bought it because our prime directive below that is, can I survive here, please? So I'm hoping you hear all of this with a sense of kindness for you. You were put into a rigged game, you know that? Not to torture you. Not to torture you. You came here at this time. I call it the revolution. Classy lady, hey. Awesome. Awesome. Love your butterfly. You didn't come here to suffer. No matter what the spiritual and religious bullshit tells you, it's not true. That's not what you came for. And it's not why you came now. You're here at this time in human history to be a vibrational part of this evolution that we're in. And the evolution, as far as I can figure it out, you go figure it out for yourself and then bring it back. Let's talk about it. Because I don't think one person necessarily has the answer. But my answer, it makes sense to me, is that it's our ability to go from thinking we are powerless to living, understanding, experiencing power as what it really is. It's not power over. It's not destruction. It's not misery and punishment. That's not real power. Real power. Oh God, that's so cool. I have never studied her. I'm gonna have to go look her up. Heard her name. Yeah, you've got to challenge your internal status quo. We've internalized the patriarchy. Oh God, we had to. And the evolution now is to challenge it internally. And so I have a workshop, I have a program, I have all kinds of stuff that I'm building and putting out there because I'm tired of us women suffering. Oh my God. I'm tired of us leaning on our brains and going, see, it happened the other 20 times that I tried and I couldn't, therefore I'm a loser. Bullshit. The system told you that and you bought it. We all bought it. What choice did we have? Of course we bought it. So it's not this kind of thing where you go, you know, you're right. I'm not going to buy that crap anymore. I'm not going to believe it. But then, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? How do you put that into motion? How do you put that into action in your own day-to-day life? God, we're so used to Hollywood. You know, or at least I am. I'm such a movie buff. I'm also a professional actor, so I'm into it big time. Though I don't make my living that way. And, you know, in my head when I say stuff like that, I'm like, okay, so here I am, being miserable, and then there's going to be a 5-minute montage. I'm going to be so happy. Yeah, right. That is a real question, and it is my favorite question. Oh, God. It's a great freaking question. Luchacita, I love you. So, you tell me, everybody weigh in. How should we weigh in? Let's ask that question first. How should we weigh in on how a world without patriarchy looks like? And I'm going to say, let's start with what would my life look like if I could live outside of the patriarchal beliefs and thoughts and injunctions and shoulds. What would my life look like? Well, you know, there's so many answers. They're so individual. You know, I'd get out of that disastrous relationship. I'd quit that job because I know I'm going to be okay. And I wouldn't care about it seeming like I was breaking rules and people would hate me. And what is the judgment that goes on in your head that keeps you stuck in behaviors and beliefs that make you freaking miserable? Because I'm here to tell you they are not your limitations. They seriously are not yours. They are evidence of you living according to the patriarchal castle rule, which is thou shalt not succeed. Gets more complicated than that, more multi-layered, of course, but exactly. Luchacita, yes. Do you know, let me tell you something. First time I asked myself, and this is a number of years ago, I said, you know, we talk about the masculine and the feminine, but what is the feminine? And I swear to you, all I could think of was the color pink, sex, and crinoline dresses from wherever. Barkline? That's awesome. Yeah, smiling is a huge energy shifter. So that's a good one. And it really gets even more powerful when you know that that's what you're doing. You're interrupting the patriarchy. Every single time you do that, just smiling in the face of some bullshit that tells you you're never going to get out of this. You're never going to succeed. And you go. The pattern in your whole nervous system and in your brain goes, what? What happened? What's going on? Oh my God. You've just changed your life on the only level that matters, the only level that lasts, the vibrational. That is your source code. I learned that. I lived that in a huge way in 2022 when I healed those 40 years of clinical depression in 5 stinking days. And I'm not saying I waited and suffered for 5 days. I could see the steps, feel the healing, do the thing. 5 days later, I'm like, what is going on? Something's different. I know. Completely amazing. Was just trying to make it through the night. I was just trying to survive. And so I tried something that my patriarchal installation said to me was not possible, which was you can't do a thing about your depression. You can take the drugs, you can go to the therapy, you can go to the group therapy, but you can't fix it. Thanks, classy lady. And I tried something that, thank you, Patricia. Good to see you. So I tried something that everything in me went, that ain't gonna work. I tried focusing on my emotion, not labeling it, judging it, trying to push it out the window, hating on it, just feeling how freaking bad it felt and what it felt like. Just aware of it as a feeling, untitled. I already knew it was depression. I didn't need to retitle it. And then I tried something that was suggested by Abraham Hicks, but very few, I think, ever really get to apply it. Because it's the hard part. It's the part that the patriarchal shroud works hardest to make sure you don't see. And it's that instead of pushing away, pushing down, judging and hating, you bring something else to the party. Think about it. You're at a party and it's miserable. Everybody's miserable. Everybody hates everybody else. Somebody brings a baby. Everything changes. I'm talking about it like an infant. Somebody bring, oh, so cute. Oh, suddenly people are bonding over their love of innocence and the baby. That's an energetic shift. And we can do that for ourselves with those smiles you guys are talking about, with the laughing. Hey, Paragon, are you having a tough day, babe? The energy is where it all shifts, and that's kind of a tricky one to believe in. I do too, Barkline. It's a tough one to believe in because we are one of the prime directives of the patriarchal shroud is only your mind matters. It's funny that it allows creativity through in terms of like being an artist, but then it punishes the artist. Yeah, we're not going to give you a way to do your life's mission. We're going to make sure you sit and rot for 40 years in a frickin' cubicle. There's lots of quote unquote injustices. So we've got a choice. We either fight the injustices externally or we just make them irrelevant. One of them feels very, I'm gonna make it happen. I am a warrior, which is fun, but ultimately not successful at changing my life. Or we go, wherever I'm vibrationally aligned with this crap that I've been aligned with my whole life and never questioned, I'm ready to start questioning it. I'm ready to start seeing what's different. It's really important, that irrelevant thing. Yes. I'm sitting on some stairs of a what do you call it? Apartment building. I've been out walking. It's a beautiful day here in Ohio. Thanks for the follow, Richard. Would you guys please share this out and keep hitting the screen for the hearts, because that gets me out there and gets other people to know they're not crazy and they can maybe get out of the game every single day. That would be cool. Thank you, Esper. Oh my God, I think I might be really close to another landmark number. You did? I'm so glad that you did. I love what you're studying. So please keep in touch and share your resources and stuff, because cool. All right? Amazing. Thanks for all the gifts, you guys. It's just extraordinary. It's going to take an experience for you to break through the, thank you, honey, thank you so much, to break through that belief system, that social system that was then installed within you. And one of the things that I do, I'll answer that question in a second, T. One of the things you can do is get on my waiting list for the next time that I do my Off the Hook 4-week workshop, where you experience your freedom from that patriarchal garbage. You find out how big you are, but you do it with fun. It's personal growth without suffering. So go get on the waiting list so I can notify you when I've got the new page up, because I just did the first round and it was just so clarifying and growthful. And so now I'm up leveling for the Off the Hook first level for you guys. Okay. And the way you get to it is goodbyegoodgirl.com/off the hook wait list, as one word. Off the hook wait list. Not waiting, it's a wait list. Off the hook wait list. The Goodbye Good Girl project is my assault on the place in you that believes that you're limited. Because really what we're all doing is we're living by rules that are not our own. And we're living them internally, which is where the power is. And the thing we're living by, according to, tells us there is no there there, so that we will stay in limitation. We'll stay unhappy. We'll stay looking at the world as, where's my answer out there? Never knowing. Never even starting to explore the fact that when we shift our emotional set points, when we shift how we feel about something, we've just changed the quality of our lives. We've just changed our lives. Because honestly, I spent so many years just beating my head against the wall trying to get successful. And instead of getting anywhere near success, I just got more and more miserable. I mean, that's just the fact of it. I had some successes. I wasn't like a sad sack that way, but still, I wasn't getting the life I could see. You know, that life you came to live, the quality of that life. For me, it's like, I came here to shine. I came here to be visible. I came here to uplift and to make people smile and laugh and wake up with me, because I'm not an enlightened master either yet. And I don't even know if that's the goal. I think the goal might be to just have a good life. And by good, we're going to have to redefine our terms, because the patriarchal shroud says good is only if you have the money and the perfect health and the perfect person in your life, and blah, blah, blah. That has a whole list, laundry list of things for you to measure yourself against, to remind yourself that you are unsuccessful. So the trick is to go to the one place that the patriarchal shroud doesn't even perceive as important. It doesn't see you coming. Never good enough. That's right. It never sees you coming. When you go to your source code, which is energy, that is beyond any freaking rule that the patriarchal shroud can throw at you. It doesn't see you coming. In fact, eventually it doesn't see you. I remember I saw Louise Hay of Hay House fame back in the 80s. She was just beginning to become really well known. Thanks, Carrie. And she came out on stage. There were maybe, 60 people in the room. She came out on stage in this flowing blue, gorgeous dress and lovely shoes that she was wearing. And I guess we all looked at her like, what? Because she said, what, you thought I was going to come out in Birkenstocks? She was directly saying, you think just because I'm talking about your emotions, that makes me a hippie, something that the system says is weak? Because it doesn't mean that. And she talked about how she changed. She didn't talk about it in this way, but she talked about how she changed her life, her relationship to men, by imagining unaliving her stepfather over and over and over again. Imagining, not doing it, because he had SA'd her. And so she had married somebody who was like a drunk, or who was somebody who was like not out of his own patriarchal loop. And the way she changed everything was by letting her energy shift that way. She just kept unaliving him. She said, I unalived him in every way you can imagine. Now, if you get stuck in, I'm going to get you, that's not going to really get you anywhere. But if your goal is to rise above, if your goal is to walk through, if your goal is to see the block at all of its tiny atomic truth, which means there's plenty of space to walk through, then you're going in the right direction. You're looking for freedom on the daily. How can I feel a little more free in this moment? How can I... Oh my God, you had to level 2 in my fan club, Carrie. Girl. Thank you. Wow. You are looking for what makes you feel a little bit of relief. If you can't get to what makes me feel great, because that's a big leap for us a lot of times, right? But I don't think it's supposed to be in the leap. It's why I call my practice that I teach the 1% solution. It's not the 100% solution. It's the 1% solution. Because it's the little tiny steps that you take that the patriarchal shroud cannot see, and pokes holes through that thing. pokes more and more holes through that thing, and then, oh my God, you are cooking with gas. Let me tell you, world, watch the hell out. Watch out. But this belief that I have to get or be or do or something, for some far off reward is another part. Did I lose you? Oh, hello. Still with me? That's amazing. I'm going to go up to my apartment and plug in the phone, because if I don't, I will lose you. Oh my goodness, hello. I can't see, the phone's gone dark because it's almost down to 1%. Oh no, it's a race against time. Will she make it? I hope so. I hope so. Urgh. Let's see here. Oh, God, for the love of God, hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me plug you in. Okay. I'm almost there, y'all. Whew. Come on, damn it. Here we go. Oh my God. You guys. Gargantuan effort. What can I tell you? Thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate it. Oh, for hanging with me. I appreciate it. Oh,